So what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video. Not a good day today for the Civic. The rear caliper that I've previously fit is defective. I'll show you what I mean in just a moment, but I've just packed all my stuff up in the car, taking it all out of the car. I'm going to jack the car up now, whip the caliper off really quick. I'm not going to show you any of the footage, I'm just going to show you exactly what's wrong with it. You know, I'm not going to be recording it and making it a whole thing, there's no need to, but I just thought I'd show you that sometimes even brand new parts can go wrong, and even though these parts have a 5-year guarantee, it's not worked out on this occasion, and the handbrake mechanism is a bit janky. So I'll show you exactly what I mean now. So the issue I'm having is with this here. It's what rotates, it pivots if you like, and it's for the handbrake. So you can see the handbrake cable here going to it, and as it rotates, it actually lifts in and out of the caliper, which is really dodgy. And as it lifts in and out of the caliper, or as it lifts out of the caliper, what happens is it wedges itself on and the handbrake sticks on, and you can see there the heat that's gone through the brake disc as the handbrake's been stuck on. So the pads are well and truly bedded in, but what we have now is an issue where the brand new caliper and the handbrake mechanism just sticks on, which is not ideal. So we're going to free off the old brake caliper, take this one off, and hopefully return it.
12 seconds later.
So there we go, the old caliper's back on, the offending caliper is in the box, ready to go back. But yeah, I suppose these things happen. I will have to change this again because the it has been freed off. It will work with the brake, it will work with the handbrake, but I would imagine for a short period of time because the seals are bust on the piston within the caliper, and I think that's what's causing it to seize over time now. But it's completely gone now. We've freed it off again, and it's just all been tore up. It's all been tore up. So I'm going to drop this down, reattach the handbrake cable, because what I did as a temporary measure was I disconnected the handbrake cable so that the handbrake mechanism on the faulty caliper wasn't being used, because as the handbrake was pulled, it would pull this shaft out of the caliper and lock it on. Anyway, it's all back together now, and I'm going to drop this on the deck and call it a day, I think, on this. So I've just finished the caliper swap speed run. In doing that, I also found a rear strut brace for the coupe. Now I'm not going to be fitting it today, it's a DC rear strut brace. I'll put a quick picture of it here, but we actually got that from a car. My dad got that from a car that he bought purely to sell on. Got a really good deal on like an old EJ9, like a 1.4 Civic EK. It was the nice supersonic blue pearl, I think they call it. It's like a blue purple pearl sort of colour. It's one of my favourite colours actually that they did in the Honda Civic range of the EK sort of shape. Anyway, it came with like 19-inch wheels, a rear strut brace, speakers everywhere, tints, you know, it was proper iced out. But I was going to buy a strut brace for this car and see how it impacted the handling. So that'll go really nicely with the lowering springs, the I-back lowering springs, the DC2 front shocks, the upgraded brakes that I've already done on the front. You get the idea, you know, it's going to be little tasteful sort of modifications, the short shifter, the steering wheel, you know, the EP3 steering wheel that's on. It's going to be nice to see it all together, and the rear strut brace is sort of one of those little elements that definitely helps the Honda Civic EK and EM1 chassis on the rear, because it doesn't come standard with one on the rear on this particular model. I believe the DC2 and EK9 came with one as an optional extra, factory option, but the EK4, EM1, EK9, DC2 all came with a front strut brace on the front two top mounts, which this has got, you know, this car's got. So that'll just go really nicely with it. Anyway, I'm going to run home now because it's not all doom and gloom, you know, there are like little pick-me-ups if you like along the way, and I'm going to go into some really interesting stuff that's been happening with the channel on a broader scale in a moment. I'm just going to drive home now. So fast forward a few days and I've not picked up the camera since. In fact, I've not even edited a video in a very long time, and the timescales between videos are getting longer at the moment, but for good reason. So as you saw, everything kicked off with the rear caliper. I've gone back and forth with the seller on eBay, and the seller on eBay for some strange reason wanted to arrange a courier to my house, even though the item should be, you know, refunded and sent back through eBay's postage sort of system. Now I'm sort of responsible with eBay and the seller to make sure that parcel gets back to them, and the eBay process is tracked. So I basically replied to them saying, look, I'm going to send it through eBay, and now I'm waiting for that parcel to be confirmed as delivered and hopefully get the funds back. So that's that out of the way. That's not the reason why I've stopped recording as much or not being able to pick up the camera as much and not being able to edit as many videos, because I've got this video, another 2 videos on the device. I'm going to be recording another one today. You know, so I've got a couple of videos ready to edit on my laptop. One on the laptop, one on the camera. This one will be on the camera. Anyway, you get the idea. I'm behind. And I'm behind for good reason, as I was trying to get to. There's been a few cool things happen on the channel, so this is going to be a bit of a channel update. And one of those things is I've been reached out to by a tool supplier. But that's something that's been taking up quite a bit of my personal time, so I'm going back and forth with emails and stuff like that. I've got my phone here because I can't remember all these things that are going on. I've also been invited to a UK vehicle tool exhibition. So this tool exhibition's like the biggest one in Europe, and I've been invited to that by a marketing team that I've been working with previously, and that's who I ended up getting in contact with Ring Automotive through. So again, that's going backwards and forwards on emails. Might end up going there. It's at the NEC in Birmingham. I can't sort of disclose anything more than that just yet. I've also been reached out to by a car parts supplier to be given discounts. I've just recently spoken to them last night about getting a new caliper for that side, because hopefully I'll get the refund from the eBay seller, and I want a reconditioned OEM caliper, which is what this car parts supplier offers. Now, it's not free parts, but the discounts are quite substantial, so really looking forward to that. I hope that sort of works out in the future. I've not got anything from them yet, so you know, fingers crossed that that works out. Another thing that I want to call out again, I know I've mentioned it previously, but my Civic EG has gone to a fellow YouTuber to be refurbished, if you like. It's just going to get all the welding done, you know, it's going to be sealed and all that sort of stuff, and I'm really looking forward to getting back into the EG build, because that is knackered now, the EG. This thing, I like it. It's a Honda Civic, it's an EK Coupe. I've always wanted one. This was the car I wanted when I was a kid, hence the build. You know, this is a budget sort of ricer spec build, but after experiencing the EG, this is definitely second best. So Leadfoot Ash, if you're watching, thank you very much again. He's done an amazing job with his R32 Skyline. It's a GTST, it's not the GTR, but if you look at the wide arches and all that sort of stuff, it looks OEM, and it's probably wider, I dare say, than a GTR if it was to be measured, but it looks beautiful. It's like in a metallic silver, metallic green colour. Looks really, really nice. The parts hoard is getting bigger for the EG build as well. While we're on that subject, I've got a number of things that I still need to bring over from my dad's. I've been buying even more things, new, fresh, like suspension components and stuff like that. And I've got another couple of things still to come. I want the rear toe arms, just some new OE replacements, because the bushes will definitely be shot in that. They were some of the very few bushes that weren't replaced with polyurethane ones when I did that. And also I want some subframe rigid collars. So yeah, that's growing. Again, Borg & Beck, first line parts, thank you very much for all the parts that you've supplied. I did buy as well, as I said I would, the first line handbrake cables for the EG6, because it's running rear discs. Oh yeah, and my window fell out. My window fell out on my way to work. Not the best, but it actually fell off the tracks, and it got halfway down and just stopped. It wouldn't go back up, it wouldn't go back down. I couldn't do anything with it, and it just stuck in the rails. So that was on my way to work. I had to come back home. I only wound the window down because I was warm. I wound the window down, it stuck there, so I had to drive back home, get the door card off, get the window out. Nightmare. I didn't record any of it obviously because I was in a rush, but yeah, the window fell out, and it's miles better than what it ever was now. I think it must have been on the runner on this side. I think it must have been slightly off centre, and it was sort of sticking as it got halfway up and then going fast again on the motion up and down. So that's all resolved now. So yeah, so today we've put the or previously in this video, should I say, we put the handbrake caliper on. It's been working fine ever since, but I know that I'm on borrowed time. The seal's gone on the where the cylinder sort of goes into the caliper itself, so, or the piston, should I say, goes into the cylinder on the caliper itself. So I'm on borrowed time. I know that I need to either get a repair kit for it, which I'm 50-50 on because it's about 15-20 quid, whereas that caliper was about 55 quid, so I thought it's worthwhile. Whereas these refurbished OEM ones, and they are completely refurbished, like brand new, it's like 100 quid. Now, you know, 55 quid to 100 quid's a big leap, but it is then bolt off, bolt on, and it'd be so much quicker, and you know it's all been refurbished already. You're not sort of reliant on your own refurbishment skills of a caliper. Especially, you know, on the fronts I'd probably be happy, you know, refurbishing them myself, and I wouldn't think twice about it, but on the rears, because of the handbrake mechanism, I don't really want to get into that and take the caliper apart and mess about with it. It's because if it doesn't work, you're then going into the same process all over again to get it sorted, you know, and it's just you dismantling, reassembling, dismantling, reassembling. And I just thinking, is an extra, compared to the caliper, is an extra £45 worth it from the previous caliper I bought? And the answer to that probably is yes. So I'll probably get that from the parts supplier that I've been speaking about, and if I do, then of course the parts supplier would be mentioned for offering the support that they've given me on the channel and the channel itself, so that would be really, really good. But anyway, that's it for updates on the channel. Next, I think we're going to be doing the front calipers on this because they are a little bit stuck, and I've got a couple of front calipers to go onto it. The rear caliper needs sorting. It just seems that this winter, with it being stuck, especially through COVID and stuff like that, the calipers aren't happy. And the fronts are definitely free off, but I'm just going to sort them. I'm just going to do them. As for the next video, I think it's probably, if it's not one of the ones that I've got stored up on the devices, you know, saved in the memory, it's probably going to be the Mrs. Suzuki Swift. And then we're going to move on to this at some point to do the rear strut brace that I picked up earlier today from my dad's that we both forgot about and didn't even remember what car it was off of. We thought it was from an EP at first, but then I remembered exactly what car it was from and reminded my dad. But yeah, so that'll be going on this at some point. So that's it for this particular video. Thank you very much for watching. If you liked it, please give us a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't done so already, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye for now.